Hello and welcome back to Bube Trader. So today I will go through um in this video we'll review the US market and go through the indices, ETF, and the usual that I cover when I review the market. All right, so first let's take a look at SPX, SP 500. All right, so last time I looked at this was around November 3rd. So I say, okay, so look like we might have a pullback bounce, right? And then it will come down to test the green line right here, break below it, and test this purple line as around 6,600. Oh, so guess what? We did just that. Okay. So what's next for SPX? Okay, let's move all this arrow out. Okay. So now we got a new short-term channel. Basically, we got this, and for the support like that, kind of like a megaphone. All right, so what's our next level? This become the next resistance. You know what? Let me change this to red. All right, and then the next support will be, let me see where it would be, around probably here. Okay, yep, okay. So around 6,400. So what I'm seeing is this. Next week we might have a small bounce back to 6,700, and then, or actually, it might even go up to here as 6,730 something, and then it will come back down and test this. And then after that, it will come up here and test 6,600. So basically, what we have for the next, I would say, 2-3 weeks, we will have basically going back to today. But it will bounce, go back, and then bounce. All right. So you want to be careful with this whipping effect. And I'm thinking this way right now, you can see there's a lot of negativity. So, which is good because that means, you know, you can buy your stocks at a discount. If everybody always say, oh, you know what? Yeah, I should have bought more in April. You know, well, yes. So this may be your next opportunity. So it looks like it is trending down. And right now in a way, we have a support here. Okay, at 65.50. All right. So we have a temp support. Look like we will have a bounce. Or it can go a little bit lower. Maybe let's say it can go as low as 64 or 6500 right here. And then we bounce up. And then let's say bounce up to 6700 here. Between the red and the orange line here. Pull back and then bounce again. So something to take a look at. Well, you can see it's the same for SPY. So let me see for SPY if we have anything different than the chart for S&P. So take these out. So we have 640 at the support, and then so wait, and we got this as the support here, right here. Okay, so most likely we'll have a bounce. Okay, and then pull back, and then coming back to 66, yeah, 660. So 660 will be a level to watch. Okay, for NASDAQ, what do we have? NASDAQ, I think it got sold off a little bit more. Okay, let me do a quick measurement. Since the end of October till now, it's about 8% to, yeah, so about 8% to 9%, which is a healthy pullback. Of course, it's not healthy when your stock is going down, but it is what it is, part of the game. Okay, so you can see it a bit stiffer. No, maybe like that. All right. So what do we have here? Okay, so the next level will be maybe this gap right here at 23,200. So I expect a bounce as well. You can see it's oversold, but for long term it's still overbought. It's just that it's heading down. Short term is oversold, so that is why we see a lot of negativity, and that means we may have a bounce. When people get too bullish, will have a pullback, and then now people are starting to bearish short term, and we have a short bounce, and then maybe it will continue. So this is what I'm seeing. Okay, so this is, what is this line here? Let me change it to purple. So this line was coming back all the way from 2023 and then the end of beginning of 23 all the way to now, go through the last low. So look like it might actually come down here to test, and that will be 23,000. So maybe 23,000 is where we will test. Something to keep in mind. Or it can bounce a little bit off and then come back down here at 23,200. So this is the level that we need to check. Okay. QQQ look like we might have the same thing. Oops, so we have like a megaphone, and we got a current support, and then the next support will be around here. Okay, the 560 is where we might test. Okay, so same thing. We have a bounce, pull back, and then bounce. And this will be around 600. This will be around 582. Okay, so these are the level that we need to watch for QQQ. Let me see. That's the next gap that we have right here, one right here, one right here, and more here, and another one here. So we have a lot of gap, and you may never know, it might fail. Okay, it's only last April, so it's only what, 7-8 months ago. Things might change and we might come back there to test it, but for now we might have a bounce. Short term's over, so long term returning to little bit of selling, going to neutral. All right, next we got Dow Jones. Dow Jones looks like it's a little bit better. Not much, but let's see. Okay, so look like this will be the resistance. The current support is around, yep, around here. Okay, there's purple, and then the support will be around here as 4,500, 45,000. So let me see. All right, so for the trend, you know what? Short term, it just made new time high just a week ago, and now pulling back about 5%. Yeah, the 5% is still much better than S&P and Nasdaq, and look like we might have a bounce as well, and then pull back. Maybe it will pull back here, or can come down all the way over here. But here is more likely. And then it will bounce up here. So what I'm seeing is, the thing is, for Dow Jones is actually a little bit better than the other one. So I think the current trend is still this. Okay, most like. And I'm not surprised if it come back and test this orange line. Okay, but most likely I see it come back to test 46,770. But if the other one are bouncing, and right now I see value stock actually doing much better, it might come back and test this. Okay, so I'm thinking 45, so 44, 980. Okay, so right here, for this will be 46,768. Okay, we can come back and check in a week or two. Russia. Look at this. Look like Russia is actually pulling back a bit. Let me see. So about the same as Nasdaq, 8% after recent high. So you can see Dow Jones is actually the last one to make high. And it's actually a little bit better compared to these. Okay, now this will be the resistance. This is the support. And we got the better support down here at 215. So what I'm thinking is, again, we might come up here to test 240. Then it will come back down to test 227. And then a bounce back probably to 234. I'm 33. Okay, so I'm just writing the level that we will test. Not will, but we might test. But usually it will move around this area. All right, next we have oil. Oil is actually rather weak. Okay, but the good thing is it's got like a bear flag here. The only problem is going for too long, and right now the trend, the short-term trend is something like this. Okay, so it tried to break out, but it could be breaking down. Okay, so I expect a pullback, I mean a bounce, and it will test back this red line right here at 62, and then maybe a pullback after that. But I do see it's going to come up. It's been down for a long time already. It's short term is oversold for a long time, and it's been here for about a year. If you look at the bigger picture, it's actually for the past 5 years, it actually has a pretty low level. So just a matter of time, something will spark and oil might jump back and test about $80 very fast. Okay, so that is something we need to pay attention, because it will go so quick that most of us won't believe how fast it's gonna go. Next we have DXY, the dollar. Okay, so last time I looked at it, you can see that I expect a pullback and then coming up to test 101. So you can see right now it is testing this last high and this high. So if it breaks above, which is still within the channel here, it can go up and test 101.7 something, so we'll make it 102, and then next will be 104. Okay, so 102 first, and then 104, and I think that's where it's going to head toward too. Gold. All right, so gold, there's still a lot of people want gold to go up. Everybody, right? If you hold gold and you love gold, you want to go up. But when we in a recession, people will sell everything. So we can see for short term, gold already make a lower high. And here is the lower low, right? I mean the low. So if we come down and hit even just 3,800 and then bounce again up here, it still count. Okay, so it might be something like this. But again, if something happens, it can pull back pretty quickly and not as gradual as we see here. But my base case is still, it will hit about 3,600 or go. All right, so lumber. Well, you can see over here, I expected a bounce and a pullback, right? Guess what? So it actually went down more than come up, and then coming back down. Usually around 500 can be pretty low, but if the layoff continue, people have less money, people will sell their houses, and then builder cannot uh, sell the current inventory. They're not gonna build fast. They might still building, or maybe freeze building altogether for a while, maybe for a year. And that means, and the people don't have money, they're not going to fix their home and stuff. So, you know, it will keep going down. So I'm thinking it might go even lower than 480. But 480 is still my base case. Okay, of when it will finally bounce a little bit more, but it can go more lower. I mean lower. Okay, so right now I don't see any difference, but it will be keep going lower for a while until the economy improve. TLT, all right. So you can see I expected to come back to test the orange line and then bounce up a little bit and then pull back. So in a way, we got this already, right? We got this and we go up already. And now, if we look next, we got either a further pullback or about up to here. So Treasury is, if the rate go higher, then Treasury will go lower. So if they cut, then Treasury will rise. I'm thinking if they cut, if they don't, then we might see 86. So that is why I still leave it here. So I'm thinking right now is 50-50. Okay, and the chart is over. So, but it also depends on the Fed. And right now it's a tough call, so I would leave it at 50-50 and keep it this way. So for the next month, I mean couple of weeks to a month, I see it maybe it will stay around from 88 to 91. So yeah, it might just bouncing around, but it's not going to do anything. All right, thanks for watching. Please hit a like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.